We're changing the cable inside of the passenger side motor to allow the door to work again. The wires have worn down and have broken inside of the door. So the first thing that we have to do is take off the door. If you pull up on the top, you'll see these little green fasteners here. You do want to take the door lock, unscrew that from the top, and you can pop the top part of the plastic molding out, and then there's lower pieces that are holding the door in as well. So if you pull from the top and you start popping that outward, then you can eventually get down to the bottom fasteners here, and then this whole plastic piece comes right out, and you get that out of the passenger side door. Once you have the plastic molding off on the inside of the passenger door, there's this black rubber molding that you can peel back. It's kind of glued on there, and when you get on the back side, you'll see the electronics back here. Focusing down on the lower part at this point, I'm going to be taking this cable here that goes and feeds into the door system and replacing that. Just to let you know, this is the motor that spins the door open and closed. And then over here you have a control unit and stuff. But typically on this failure, the wire that's going underneath the door, that's sliding back and forth, will crack over a long period of time, and so that's what we're going to be replacing today. Now we're going to get access to the wiring underneath the panel. What I did do is I popped this plastic molding out here. If you pull from this side and you pull up, you'll see that there's little grabbers here that you can pull and get that plastic piece out. Once you get that plastic piece out, it's a little easier to take a look inside. And then over here on the motor or the gear piece, there's a screw hole here, or a screw here, and a screw here. If you take that out, you can pull this little piece out. And then what you'll notice is that this wire that we're putting back in here is gonna be mounted on top of this metal bracket here. And then it's going to clip into the pin inside the door. The pin inside the door will get clipped into this little holder here, and there's a little piece right here. If you pull on it, it opens up. So what you can do is you can put the pin inside of the little circle here, or cylinder, and then you close that to lock it in to the pin. And that's basically underneath the door here. It's right there. So you can look at the old one and see how that was clipped in there, but it should be pretty easy to pop that off. Next, we're going to remove, this is the old wiring harness. So we can pull this little rubber piece off here, and that's going to go off to the side. And then we can see that there's some other wiring down here in the trough, and then it's going to go up into the side of this plastic piece. So we'll be disassembling that, and that's what we'll be connecting the other side of the newer wire harness. Whoops. One item to note is when you're disconnecting this connector, there's a little push button here to release the connector, and you pull backwards. And then on this one right here, there's a little push button right there, but before you can push that and pull that out, you've got to take this little plastic piece and slide it upward until you see a little space there. If you don't see that space, this little plastic piece, if you push it back in when the connectors are made, it will lock the connector in, and it's not going to come out easily. So you got to remember to do that to disconnect both sides of these connector systems. This white one's a little easier, and this black one's got a little more lock on it. The second end of the connector goes, and it's hidden behind where the seat belt is, so there's a little clip here And if you pull back on that, you can then get back behind the plastic piece where the safety belt is. Down at the bottom, down here is where you plug in the wiring for that connector. It's pretty easy to take off. And then down in the trough, this is the little plastic. There's a little plastic pipe here that kind of buckles in on the right and left side down in this trough area. I think it's buckling in down here and over at that point. And so that will hold the plastic piece and the wires together so they don't get cut up when the door's moving and closing. This is the cable harness that I ordered from the parts store that does the right side passenger side door. And basically, I did get the wire underneath this plastic harness or holder, put the 2 screws in there, so now it's being protected, so the wire won't get chewed up by there's some gears in there that run. And then down here, I've got the little plastic protection cage tie wrapped into the bottom of the metal chassis on both sides, right and left side. And then I put the plug behind the where the safety belt is, so that's all plugged in there. And basically, when I push the door switch down, the door works. So basically, the only thing that I've got to do now is inside the door, I've got to put the plastic molding back on. But I did put on some duct tape on here to hold up the black plastic rubber piece. You know, because there's glue on the back that's not sticking any longer. So I'll put on the plastic molding piece, and this repair will be complete.